What would you do if somebody comes to your house one day and says, "You can't live here anymore. Please go find somewhere else to live. You can bring all of your belongings, from your clothes, your shoes, your toothbrush, to your most important item." For me, by the way, it'd be that caterpillar pillow right there. And you'd probably think, "Yay, I can bring all of my things." But then think, "Wait a minute, where am I gonna live? I've just got kicked out of my house." So then you look into your wallet and you find 250,000 yen. And you'd think, "Wow, that's a lot of money. I can do anything with that much money." So first you'd probably go to a real estate agent and try to find yourself a house. And at first, since you're just thinking, "Hey, I'm living alone. I don't need to live anywhere that big," so you'd probably find this kind of studio apartment, nice and affordable, and think, "I'm gonna live here. This 50,000 yen house looks pretty nice." But then the real estate agent would tell you, "Oh, wait a minute, but in addition to that rent, you also have to pay for your deposit, your key money, your insurance, and your property maintenance fee." And this would make your total amount of upfront cash more than 5 to 7 times your actual rent. And the agent would also ask you, "Do you have a guarantor?" Because if you don't, you also have to ask your rent credit company as well, so you have to pay them as well. This is so much more money than what you have in your wallet. Once you pay all of that, you would enter your newly rented, very empty room with a very empty wallet. And you'd come to realize that you can't do anything with just 250,000 yen. And you don't even have enough money to buy furniture and home appliance. This is what an 18-year-old high school student must go through when they're leaving a foster home to begin living alone. As a high school student, I thought, what on earth is a deposit? What's a key money? You need a guarantor to rent? I first began volunteering at a foster home near my house with a goal to teach the children their English. This all began when I went on a volunteer trip to Thailand with my volunteer group called Abat Kame. And we went to a school in a rural village that was about like a 5-hour van ride away from this city called Chiang Mai, which is in northern Thailand. And we went there and we built a volleyball court, and we also helped paint fences. And there I had the opportunity to teach the children English. And I really enjoyed this, and I really also enjoyed interacting with the children. And I wanted to do something similar to this when I came back to Japan. And this is why I contacted a foster home near my house. The foster home that I volunteered at has children living there from like 2 to 6-year-olds, and they thought elementary schoolers were so cool. And they asked me, "Are you an elementary school student?" And I was like, "Not quite. I'm actually a high school student." And I tried to explain to them what a high school student was, but I honestly don't think they understood. They kind of just looked at me like, "What?" So anyways, the children are so cute, and I myself had so much fun playing with them. But then I wondered, are they ready to learn a second language? I saw that the children were still learning to adjust to a lifestyle without their parents. And I actually asked a staff member, "Do you think I can teach the children English?" But they told me, "I don't think they're emotionally ready yet." And so I was like, "Okay, that's fine." So I went along and played tag and imaginary fishing and house with the children. And this one child I really became really good friends with, actually, he had such a cute and innocent smile, but he had bruises and scars all over his arms. And I wondered if those were just from like a random fall or if that was from child abuse. So if you think of a foster home, a lot of people think that the children there have parents, but actually, or don't have parents. But actually the number 1 and 2 reasons for why a child is in a foster home is because of child abuse or child neglect. And of course there are other reasons as well, as like single parents or a parent having an illness. And in Japan, there are over 600 foster homes, and actually 55 are in Tokyo. And in 2017, there were 27,288 children living in foster homes, and approximately 2,000 children leave foster homes every year, and that's approximately 3.5 children per facility. When a child leaves a foster home, in Tokyo, they receive about 250,000 yen in grant money from the government and also the municipality. However, once the children realize that the money that they get can't even afford to pay for expenses to live alone, they give up going to college and decide to find a company that has a dormitory. And according to a study conducted by the Ministry of Education in Japan, 80% of high school graduates pursue higher education. However, as this pie chart shows, about 74% of the children in foster homes get jobs instead and do not continue their education. This is probably because the children cannot afford to continue their education and also live alone. And through my volunteering, I met many people, and I realized that the children, when they're living in a foster home, they're really protected and supported. But once they begin living alone, they struggle so much because they have to suddenly manage everything on their own. And when I learned that there were high school students my age facing many hardships, I thought of it as if it were my own affair. And this is when I found a nonprofit organization called Planet Canal. And this organization started this project called Sudachi Project, which collects furniture and home appliances for children leaving foster homes when they are 18. And when this project works within the local community. And at my school, I realized that a lot of teachers and students leave in June and also leave Japan. So I thought, can I collect their items that they're leaving in Japan for this project? Which is why I began this project in my school community. And with my project, I am working on connecting my school community and also the local community, as well as the expatriate community and the local community. And when a child leaves a foster home, they face a lot of financial and emotional hardships. So when a child in a foster home is allowed to begin working when they're in their first year of high school. But as you may know, recently, for our generation especially, how owning a phone is becoming more and more of a necessity, which is why a lot of children buy a phone and use up a lot of the money that they earn for that, which is why they don't have much savings. And in addition, when you have to live alone, that costs about 400,000 yen because you have to pay not only for rent, but also other payments as well. And in addition, buying furniture and home appliances costs 200,000 yen or even more than that as well, which is why in total that's about 600,000 yen. And as you can see, that is so much money. That's so much more than what the government gives to each individual child that is leaving a foster home. And this is such a big financial burden because if a child decides to pursue their education as well, they also need to pay for their tuition. And in addition, they also face a lot of emotional hardships as well because they have to begin living on their own and manage everything by themselves with no one to rely on. And I can't even begin to imagine how much emotional struggle they must be going through as a high school student. And although it's really difficult to support the children emotionally, the project that I'm working on helps to take off some of the financial burden that they have on their shoulders by donating furniture and home appliances for the children. And in addition, we hope that they can save the money and focus more on becoming independent. At first, I began this project hoping to make the children happy, but I realized as I worked harder on this project that I'm working on making myself happy as well. So many teachers, for example, I've been able to get to know so many new people in my community and also so many new things about people that I already know. And in addition, I got to know so many new things about my teachers and my friends, and many teachers have spread my word outside of my school community. And I feel so much joy when I receive so many emails like these. And they always support me, and they're always like, "Good job, Millie, keep doing what you're doing." And they cheer for me so much. And so far, I've actually been able to collect more than 120 items for this project. And all the items are so nice, and I'm so excited to be able to give these items to the children next March. And I know they'll be so happy. And many people have told me that they're so happy that they can donate this item rather than having these items being thrown away. And in addition, my school has helped me so much as well because they have provided me storage and a truck for transportation. And also recently, the school has donated 25 used MacBook Pros and also 7 iMacs for my project. And I learned through all of this that it's so amazing to come together as one to work for a common goal. So last March, I went to a Sudachi ceremony done by Planet Canal, and I saw so many children's big smiles when they received their furniture and home appliances, and so many of them had tears in their eyes from joy and appreciation. And seeing all of this, I was deeply moved, and I became further motivated to really make this project become a success. And every year, there are about 2,000 children leaving foster homes, but so far this Sudachi project has been able to support 24 children from 8 foster homes. And there's still so many that we can support. And I began working on this project in March, and I'm working on sponsoring one foster home near my school. And currently, I'm working with many teachers and friends to make this project become a success. And they have helped me with cleaning storages and carrying items and all the amazing things. And I'm so happy that there's so many people that are helping me. And of course, I still face many issues with storage space and also volunteers. I hope that I can solve these little by little. To me, I think volunteering is kind of like a puzzle piece. When two puzzle pieces come together. I think that volunteering is something that allows all of us to come together and become one. And finally, I kind of like to just say this quote. Neil Armstrong once said, "One small step for man, one great leap for mankind." I would like to say, one small step for helping others creates one giant leap towards a better society and a better you. Let's all work towards a moment of smile. And I'd like to thank everyone that organized this event and the audience, my amazing teachers and friends that have helped me with my project. And finally, I'd especially like to thank my mentor. He's amazing, and without him, I never would have been able to have this amazing project. So thank you.